I may not have a performance Tesla Model 3, but I can at least make it look like I do. I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and we're going to take a look at these pedals right here and see what it's like to install them. So any other car I've ever owned before my Tesla Model 3, I've just never really been big on visual modifications. But it's a little bit of a different story with my Tesla Model 3. For example, I just recently did the Test Bros Chrome Delete, and I think it looks fantastic. But this is something I would have never even thought to do with any other car before this. Now, some of the other things I did inside, again, very minor. Got the floor mats, I've got the label on the door button, and of course the typical center console wrap. But other than that, not much difference inside the car. Oh yeah, and I also did the dash wrap here as well. Change that wood grain look to more of a carbon fiber wrap, if you will. So one of the things I never really thought about were the pedals. Now, as you know, on the performance version, they have more performance pedals. I mean, it's a really nice look. And one of the things that my wife bought me for Christmas this year were these, and it's from a company called Top Fit, and they're the performance pedal pads. And again, it's something I never really thought to do, but I'm actually glad she did because I think it's going to look really nice. Now, this isn't me trying to pretend I have a performance model. I just think overall it's going to give it a nice look. And looking at the overall quality of these, they look pretty good. They're about 30 bucks on Amazon. And you can pay less, you can find them for less, you can find them for a little bit more. It just depends on your personal preference. Now, these are a little different than the overall look of the pedals that come with the car, but that's not a big deal. I think instead of the 5 lines that we have here, the original one only has 3. I'm not exactly sure the brake, but I think it's pretty similar. So again, the overall quality, it's a nice, hard, grippy rubber. And it's soft enough that you'll be able to get these around. It's going to be a very tight fit. This one actually goes over the existing Go pedal, and this one actually will replace the original brake pedal. So you take the OEM brake pedal off and then you replace it with this one. So again, this is basically looks like one big piece of rubber and then an aluminum piece that goes over it, and you get these slits here for the traction when you're putting your foot on there. So this will be interesting to see just how difficult or easy this is. So I like to share my experiences with you no matter how big or small they are. So let's take a look at what it's like to install these on my Tesla Model 3. Okay, so let's start with the brake pedal. And as I reach around here, I can feel kind of that lip I was talking about. So you think about this lip here. So what we're trying to do is take it off from the lip here. So let's there we go. Yeah, definitely a tight fit, and I can already tell that my fingers are going to hurt after this project because there's a lot of gripping, and here we go. So let's just kind of compare. Here's the OEM, and then here is the other company. So looks like it matches up pretty well, but obviously a little different. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put this on, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I was actually expecting there to be some kind of puzzle piece fit in here with this, then maybe they will go inside, but looks like that's not the case. Looks like it's just more of a grip on there. So, all right, let's see how this goes. All right, I wanted to move the camera so it won't be bumping as much. So we'll see how this goes. And, you know, it's just one of those things where it really is something he's kind of got to work around. All right, so it looks like that's kind of... Okay. There we go. Gonna have to work in the corners first is what I'm noticing, and then yeah, and then the problem is I have I have to get underneath what's already kind of gripped on here. I mean, this is all pretty good. I just have to get this around here. So, yeah, there we go. It's actually not too bad. It's just easiest to do with your fingers as much as it hurts. And you know what? I think I got it all around there. So yeah, it just takes a little time to play around with it, but yeah, I think I got it. So this is on. So far so good. Now it's on to this guy right here. All right, so the initial analysis, this is of course the top. We're just gonna kind of put it on like so. So this again, you got a lip all in here. You want to try to get that kind of behind the pedal. So let's take a look at this and see how I can go about doing this. Make sure your car's on drive. All right. So it feels like that. This is not easy, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's see here. There it is right there. All right, now I've completely cut myself. This is not fun. I think it's in good. Let's take a look at the other side. So here we are. This is the finished product. Now it looks like it's a little exposed right here, but actually, and when I looked at the video, it looks like it, but I kind of checked all the edges there and I don't feel any edge. It looks like an edge, but it's not. So that's actually fully underneath the rubber. Just actually doesn't look like it is, but it is. And then down here, everything looks good. Go to the other side, that looks good as well. And then up here looks pretty good too. So again, it's just this corner that I was having issues with. It looks a little rough, but who cares how it looks back here, right? It's what it matters, it's what it looks like up front here. Then just to kind of double check the brake. Looks like everything's good on the brake here. Yeah, that's all good. So yeah. Everything looks solid here in the back. Boy, let me tell you, I'm finished with the project, I'm done, and I'm happy with the end result. Very happy. I think it looks great. On a scale of 1 to 10, on the overall difficulty, 10 being the most difficult, it was a solid 8. And it was mainly just the level of frustration that I had with it. Because the brake, it was a piece of cake. It probably took me a little more than a minute to take off the current brake pedal and putting on the new one. Piece of cake, right? It was putting on the go pedal that was the really difficult part. And I approached it from many different ways, such as working from top to bottom, then bottom to top. And then what I found that worked best, not easy, but the best way was to work from right to the left. And I was able to kind of work everything up. But I really did run into a lot of roadblocks in that process, as we saw. And I finally was able to get it on. It doesn't look pretty in the back. I mean, you can see where the damage was from the screwdriver. I used this screwdriver to help kind of pry it in there. I would have liked this to have been a little bit shorter when prying some stuff because it kept hitting the bottom or the floor of the car, and it was a little bit more difficult to work with. So if you have a shorter one than this, that would definitely be ideal. but you can clearly see the damage that it did to the rubber. Am I concerned about that? No, I don't care how it looks in the back. It looks great in the front, and that's all I really care about. And also the overall, kind of working with your fingers. When you're pulling your fingernails back a bit, it creates that sensitivity, so they kind of hurt a little bit after that. And I cut my cuticles a bit. There was some blood, which actually, when you look at the video, you could see that I got blood on the metal of the go pedal. So it was a bit of a, I guess you could say, some blood, sweat, literally some blood, sweat, and I wouldn't say tears, but definitely put into this project. And again, this is one of those things where I think, kind of looking back, I'm grateful that my wife got this for me for Christmas, and I'm glad I was able to do this project. But if she didn't get me this for Christmas, I probably wouldn't even be doing this video, and I probably would have never done this. But overall, like I say, I'm very happy with it. And does it make my car faster because I have the performance pedals? I'll let you be the judge. So obviously my car doesn't go faster because I have the pedals on there. Just thought I'd have a little fun. But I'd love to hear your take on this. I mean, I think they look great, but I'd love to hear what you think. Is this something you think you'd want to do? Have you ever thought about maybe putting the pedals on? Does this, maybe watching me go through this process, deter you from maybe getting these pedals? Or are you thinking, hey, you know what, I think I might take it on? I'd love to know what you think in the comment section below. And once again, thank you all so much for watching, and you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and stay positively charged.